was a young man named Temel who was very gassy. Temel also loved to barbecue in the garden. His family is fed up with his constant gas. His father offered him a deal. He said that if you don't release gas near us for a week, he would take Temel to a barbecue on his relative's garden. Both agreed, and he didn't release gas near his family for a week. As a result, he deserved to go to his relative's house for a barbecue. They all went to their relative's house together at the weekend. His relatives had a house with a beautiful garden and a dog named Salty. His relatives met Temel and his family in the garden. While they were chatting on the gross, Salty came to Temel and started to sniff at his trousers. By the way, Temel is very stuck. And he gassed once but made a lot of noise, zart. Everyone turned to look at Temel. Temel was very embarrassed, but the owner of the house shouted by scolding, "Salty, my son." Temel was very happy with this situation, because the dog Salty was blamed for the gas. A little later he gassed again, but louder and more violently. The owner of the house scolded the dog again, "Salty, my son." When Temel gasped third time loudly, the owner of the house shouted at the dog, "Salty, son. Get out of there. Temel will shit on your head."
Once upon a time, many aliens visited world and didn't leave. All governments published reports that aliens might be dangerous for humanity, so they will pay $100 for each alien's head. When Temel and his close friend, Dursun, heard this report, their eyes turned to dollar sign. They went to forest side and killed a few aliens, and brought heads to government. They took money and spent. When money finished in a short time, they decided to make camp in the forest. Therefore, they will save money. Then they immediately prepared equipment and went to forest for camp. They started to kill aliens and gather heads next to their tent. Aliens living in forest understood that their numbers started to decrease. Leader of aliens made a meeting with others and told that our numbers decreased. We have to find them and punish. They all started to look for in the forest. Finally, they saw a tent and many aliens head next to it. They opened tent and saw two men sleeping inside. One of aliens touched Temel ass with its laser sword. Temel woke up and saw more than 1,000 aliens around him. Then he called Dursun and said, "Happily wake up, Dursun, wake up. We will become millionaire."
Two old women in their 90s were chatting. My gentleman had a bad habit around this time. He started biting his nails. Whatever I did, I couldn't stop him. The situation makes me crazy. The other woman replied, "You are right, mine started for a while too. But I could prevent him from biting his nails." "Very good, teach me what you have done, please." "Very simple, I hit his teeth."
Temel and his close friend, Dursun, were in Madhouse. They decided to escape from Madhouse and started to make some plans. Temel said that, if garden fences are high, we can escape under of them by digging. Dursun asked if garden fences are short, what will we do? Temel said that if so, we will escape by jumping over fences. Dursun became very happy, and said, "Let me check high fences, then we can make final plan." Tamil said okay, go and check the fences. Dursun stood up and went outside happily. However, a few minutes later Dursun came to room very sadly. Tamil asked what happened. Dursun said we can't escape. Tamil asked again why, because there are no garden fences outside.
A woman calls a taxi. She gets on the taxi and says where she wants to go. A few minutes later, the customer touches the shoulder of taxi driver lightly to ask something. However, today is the first day of him in taxi. With a tap on his shoulder, the driver screams, loses control of the steering wheel, and gets on the pavement, stops the car in front of a shop window, and turns around to the customer. He shouts, "I'll blow your eye out if you do that again." Customer: "I didn't think the slightest touch would scare you so much, I'm sorry." Having recovered, the driver turned to the customer and said, "You're right, it's not your fault. Today is my first day as a taxi driver. I've been driving a hearse for 25 years.
Four rich close friends get on the private plane of one of them and start a world tour. As the plane passes over Madrid, one of them runs towards the door of the plane and tries to throw himself off. Others prevent this. When they ask what happened, he answers sadly that my mother was Madrid's most famous whore, so I want to jump out. His friends console him. As the plane passes over London, another one approaches the door and tries to throw himself off. Others prevent this. When they ask what happened, he says sadly that my mother was London's most famous whore, so I want to jump out. His friends console him. As the plane passes over Paris, third one heads for the door of the plane and tries to throw himself off. Others prevent him. When they ask what happened, he says sadly that my mother was the most famous whore in Paris, so I want to jump out. His friends console him. As the plane passes over Berlin, 4. Rich runs toward the door of the plane and screams. Others block him and ask, "What happened? Was your mother the most famous whore in Berlin?" He says no. My mother was very honest, so I can't stay among these sons of bitches.
Once upon a time, there was a madhouse. There were many mad people inside. One day morning, nurse called doctor and said nobody came to breakfast, so I checked all rooms but empty. Doctor came to madhouse immediately and they discussed what they had to do. They informed this to police center and gendarme. While waiting any info from police and gendarme, they heard crowded sound from outside. They looked at outside and saw that all mad people were coming back. Doctor ran outside and met them in the garden. Temel was the leader of group. Doctor asked to Temel, "Hey, where were you?" Temel answered, "We escaped." Doctor said that if you escaped, why did you return? Temel answered confidently, "We rehearsed today. We will carry out tomorrow."
quebrou ele em 0,01